Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the newly minted $137 million man, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the San Francisco 49ers face off with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Welcome in, everyone, alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this would be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. These folks are ready, and we are underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Their franchise quarterback, the one leading them out, back to full health now for his second season out of Clemson. It's Deshaun Watson.
What a start to his NFL career as a rookie. 19 touchdown passes in just 6 starts. That was more touchdowns than Joe Flacco, Tyrod Taylor, or Marcus Mariota. And Houston went 1-8 after losing him, which lent credence to many people saying he should have been the Rookie of the Year based on his play and how Houston did without him.
Watson on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017, and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
And Jimmy Ward is a former first-round pick who you can put anywhere. Slot corner, regular outside corner, or free safety. Sometimes his versatility may actually be a curse because he doesn't get to settle in at any one spot. To me, put him at free safety and let him go.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They're brought out by their 5th-year QB out of Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
San Francisco gave New England a 2nd-round pick to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo's services, and it might turn out to be the steal of 2017. How about this for immediate impact? Took a 1-10 franchise, and when they put him in the starting lineup, won 5 straight games. In fact, in San Francisco, in some quarters, they're calling him Jimmy GQ.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go play action here on first down. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a 2nd and long. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
And wide receiver Marquise Goodwin showed in 2017 he's more than just an Olympic long jumper. Showed more facets to his game. Not just a long ball threat either. Could catch it underneath. Nearly 1,000 yards in receiving and had more catches last season than in his 4 years combined in Buffalo.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. McKinnon. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still 2nd down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they'll walk him back half the distance.
Still 2nd down.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Christian Covington in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They run with Morris. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back, offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. Flush to his right. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Here's Morris. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
The undisputed leader of Houston's defense is J.J. Watt, who's been slowed by injuries over the last 2 seasons, only 8 games combined. But also, he gets work done off the field. The NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year in 2017, with his work helping the flood victims of the city of Houston, raised nearly $40 million for the cause.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a 1st down. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Garrett Selleck here on the completion. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jerick McKinnon, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Watson now on second down. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And this one is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
That's taken on the 25. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. at the end of one. 7-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start. Things out. Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here.
They were forced to punt last time. Sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And the Niners move the chains as Garoppolo hooks up with Taylor.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Garoppolo. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Christian Covington in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. There's Garoppolo to throw. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he gets it down to the 32. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, The defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Texans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Play action for Miller. Now Watson steps away. Going deep for Hopkins. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now McKinnon. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's McKinnon. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, 34 yards. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Gold now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now it's Miller. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here
Personal
come the
foul.
flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
To throw is Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Ellington has it, middle of the field. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got Miller. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Underneath for Miller. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you not got too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run it with McKinnon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point: get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they're throwing it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And Gold is able to put it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw on third down, Watson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Watson on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Gold is able to put it through. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started, as we normally do, on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film, all that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions to show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day.
Offense.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Finding room at the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll throw here. Beathard. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Beathard. He'll buy some time right. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw Beathard. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Here we go.
To throw is Beathard. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And Gould is able to put it through. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Forced out to his left. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting him.
0.
That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So more problems here. It's a third missed field goal, and they can't even get on the board.
It's certainly been a struggle so far, and it's easy to pile on the kicker. But this offense has to do a better job of finishing drives, too.
Beathard. Dancing to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Here's Beathard to throw. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that? There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Tackle made that time by Kevin Johnson.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Beathard to throw. And he finds his tight end, Salek. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that is incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Now Beathard. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that fourth down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Beathard now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Salek here, left side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now it's Breida. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This is Breida. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So he's got another field goal, his 4th now in the game. He's making it look easy out there.
He certainly is, and they're always aiming for a swing of the leg that repeats under pressure, right? So nothing's different. He's got that right now because confidence is breeding confidence.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now a first down throw. Webb. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Going long for Coates. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Whedon going up top. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They get 14 yards there at a first down.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
They run with Breida. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Here's Whedon. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, and he fires one incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin the drive with Morris. And an alley to run. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
All right, here we go.
This is Morris. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now it's Morris. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
39. Green 39.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Morris. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to make it third down and 10.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Mostert. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They run again with Morris. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think this.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taken in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. The team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, it's Morris. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
And now out comes Houston. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. They're going to look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And some space here. Whoosh. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then gets it with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. This is Mostert fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
All right, here we go.
Now Mostert. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right?
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Houston, good night, everybody.